Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon. At least Gardner Minshew is not a Texan, Perna. My apologies for not addressing the Gardner Minshew trade sooner, but I was out of town for exactly one weekend in the last 2 years, and that's when the Jags decided to trade my favorite quarterback. Well, we also thought Deshaun Watson would be a Miami Dolphin by now, so some news moves slowly. I'll tell you why that trade is still as alive as Tim Tebow's tight end career. Tim Tebow to do butt modeling for a new Christian chastity underwear. And I'll answer the age-old question, should high school coaches be able to fight their teenage players? And NFL headlines. Whew, that's good at sports. Push that stupid red button and subscribe. Now, over the weekend, I was out of town. Tom Grossi and I, though, announced we're going to be doing a live show together 3 days a week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning, starting September 10th. It's about an hour long. It's going to be from 9 a.m. Mountain Time and 11 a.m. East Coast Time. Just Tom and I, talking football. We love talking football together. That's why we're doing the show. Now, this is not in place of any other videos that we're doing. You're still getting all of That's Good Sports videos, as many as I can crank out a week, all of Tom's videos. We're gonna co-stream this together. If you wanna support us, just watch the show. We're fighting against the big corporate powers. And if you wanna see YouTubers like us succeed and get a chance to make some noise in that big dick player space, this is how you do it. So, unless the show sucks and you don't have to watch.
So like when we were talking, okay, so if we just go through the announcement, we can, okay, let's start again, okay.
All right, NFL heady lines. News from around the league. NFL teams now have to trim their rosters down to 53, which means over 800 men will be told they're not good enough. Which is still less than the amount of men that Rihanna has said that to. Will she ever settle down, boys? Now it looks like J.K. Dobbins is done for the season with a knee injury, which sucks. So after a great rookie season, the Ravens will be left with Gus Edwards and Tyson Williams in the backfield. The answer? Maybe Todd Gurley. And replacing an injured back with Todd Gurley is like solving your eating issues in a Waffle House. If I'm the Ravens, I'll just wait and claim a young, talented running back off of waivers as roster cutdowns happen. Or hell, Kerryon Johnson is still a free agent. He looked good that one time in Detroit. As long as the Ravens make a decision by the summer of 2022, their 20-game preseason win streak should continue. Even Cal Ripken is jealous of that streak. It took one pass by Josh Allen to convince the world that he's ready to go this season. It also took one pass for Baker Mayfield to show he is ready to go this season. And if I get my football consolation prize this season, it will be a Browns versus Bills AFC Championship game. And yes, this throw by Teddy Bridgewater makes me believe anything is possible for my Denver Broncos. Now, what's the opposite of hope? Despair? No, it's Daniel Jones, who did the opposite of Allen, Mayfield, and Teddy with this horrific throw on the goal line this weekend. The New York Football Giants, now probably in last place for New York QBs. Panthers owner David Tepper does not give a shit about the FCC.
There's a lot of other, I was going to say shit, but I can't say that on TV, but can I say that?
No,
I'm not allowed to say that.
You already said it.
Okay, manure on TV.
They're going to fine you.
I got a fine?
Probably.
I can afford it.
Knowing you can afford something without even seeing the price tag. The only time I'm ever that confident is when I take my wife to Taco Bell. The Texans let safety Justin Reed kick off in their final preseason game against the Buccaneers because whoever their kicker is had a strain in his leg or something. This is fine. But if you do this in a real game, you should have to play your kicker at safety for one drive. Although having a safety as your final line of defense on kickoffs is actually smart strategery. Reed had 3 kicks in the game, 2 very good and 1 sailed out of bounds, but safety kickers, I'm all for it. Once again, the Colts are getting murdered by injuries. Their starting left tackle, Sam Tevi, went on IR with a torn ACL and MCL, while wide receiver T.Y. Hilton suffered a disc injury that appears to be serious. Not season-ending, according to Frank Reich, but he's gonna miss some time. My question is, what did the Colts do to piss off the injury gods? We may never know. No, actually, I do know that Satan himself warned Josh McDaniels, and that's why he backed out of that Indy coaching job. Who will start the season for the Patriots at quarterback? A big question right now. Many have compared Mac Jones to Tom Brady and think he could win the starting job. But after seeing Cam Newton struggle to get a high five from Jones on the sideline, I think Cam Newton has more in common with Tom Brady than Jones and should be the starter. That said, Mac Jones did finish the preseason as the highest graded rookie quarterback by Pro Football Focus. Zach Wilson was second, Trevor Lawrence third, Fields fourth, and Trey Lance surprisingly fifth. If Mac Jones does not start week 1, then we will all finally know for sure Bill Belichick does not use Pro Football Focus grades to make all of his coaching decisions. And those are your NFL headlines. We've got 3 stories to get through today. First, former NFL QB and current high school football coach Trent Dilfer is in hot water after this clip of him shoving and screaming at a high school football player surfaced. Now, I played football, so this seems mostly normal to me. All I can say is this is not the Dilfer Dimes I remember. Dilfer Dimes, of course, an ESPN staple. Like, you got mossed. Next thing we know, Randy Moss is going to be berating his players and then forcing them to eat moss while watching only Elizabeth Moss scenes from Mad Men. Now, I did want to do a side-by-side of high school coach Trent Dilfer and more successful high school coach Philip Rivers.
Some of my favorite memories. They really are. They're up there in the top 10. I could sit here and think of a handful. It's awesome, and I'm trying to remind these kids of that so they embrace it, because most of these kids are going to play not beyond high school football. We got a handful that'll play at the next level and that want to, and I want them to want to. But I also want them to appreciate experiences like this. Shoot, they're all over there with their families and classmates, and you won a football game. I told them, be excited, shoot, and so it's awesome.
It's no surprise that Philip Rivers, a father of 9, requires 9 times the back talk as Dilfer to get riled up during a football game. Plus, Rivers is smart enough to remember the only people you can scream at without consequence are the officials. Now, my opinion is such. High school athletes should be allowed to fight their coaches if their coaches ever put hands on them. And if the fight goes viral, they should be allowed to make money from it as an NFT. We live in a world where the Paul brothers are the biggest boxing draws on earth, so let's just get fucking weird with it. Now, Trent Dilfer did post an apology, taking full responsibility for his actions. I take full responsibility for my actions. It's just a nice way of saying I'm really sorry someone caught video of me doing this thing. I want to see Trent Dilfer take full responsibility for someone else's actions. Other than the time the Ravens defense won him that Super Bowl ring. Moving on to Deshaun Watson. Again, I picked a bad weekend to be out of town. Deshaun Watson trade seemed imminent for about 24 hours. So why did the Dolphins emerge as favorites to land Watson, even though his legal issues seem to only be getting more serious? I don't know, because there's plenty of NFL news happening right now, so nobody needs to make up a story like it's the month of May. The Dolphins have a quarterback who they drafted 5th overall. Tua started in just 9 NFL games and should be given a fair chance to grow this season. There's no reason for the Dolphins to give up the swamp for Watson. My only conclusion here is it's because Miami is in Florida, where people do not give a shit about anything. So sneaking Deshaun Watson onto the roster would not turn any heads. Apparently though, the Texans wanted 3 first-rounders and 2 second-rounders for the QB. After seeing that batshit crazy price tag, the Panthers, Broncos, and Eagles all bowed out and told the Dolphins to stick it up their blowholes. So my guess is the Texans asked for 3 firsts and 2 seconds because they forgot about the 22 lawsuits with the FBI now investigating and the pending criminal investigation from Houston police. Now, as crazy as that is, this doesn't mean Watson won't be a Dolphin soon. Agent Drew Rosenhaus says this deal is absolutely happening.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Deshaun Watson with the Miami Dolphins for the first game of the regular season. The Dolphins are absolutely working on this deal with the Texans. There's obviously holdups with compensation. They want 3 first-round picks plus. That's not going to happen while he has an uncertain legal future.
Rosenhaus is not Deshaun Watson's agent. That would be David Mulgeta, who has not yet dropped him like Nike and Beats by Dre, but Rosenhaus lives in Miami, which you could probably tell just by looking at him. Seriously, is he not just a side character from GTA Vice City?
I wouldn't be surprised to see Deshaun Watson with the Miami Dolphins for the first game of the regular season. That's not going to happen while he has an uncertain legal future.
He also says it's not going to happen while he has an uncertain legal future. But at the same time says, I wouldn't be surprised to see Watson with the Dolphins for the first game of the regular season. Either he believes that there will be a quick resolution to said legal issues, or he's seriously downplaying the 22 accusations. I wouldn't exactly put that past a guy who's represented Tyreek Hill, Warren Sapp, Antonio Brown, Plaxico Burress, and worst of all, Rex Grossman.
The Dolphins have to make sure that they have contingencies in the event that these legal issues become a serious problem.
To me, that creates one of the most conditional trades we will have ever seen in the NFL. I'm talking 3 first-round picks if Watson plays 80% of the snaps in 2021, or they all become thirds if he's suspended. Even that feels way too risky for the Dolphins, who again just drafted Tua Tagovailoa. I also want to know what happens to Tua in this situation. Does he become a Texan? Can he come to the Broncos? Please? The Texans don't deserve Tua. And just as important, Tua does not deserve the Texans. Please work on a deal that gets Tua to Denver. Tua is my new Gardner Minshew, who was traded for by the Jags traded Gardner to the Eagles. Minshew was a caged bird, but now he gets to spread his wings as a Philadelphia Eagle. Eagle is the symbol of America, and Gardner, Mississippi Mudflat Minshew is America. The Jags traded Minshew to Philly for a conditional 2022 6th rounder, officially ending the quarterback competition that we never believed was a real competition in the first place. At least Urban Meyer took valuable reps away from Trevor Lawrence so he could get a conditional 6th round pick. Obviously, this is not a starting job for Minshew, but it can be, maybe quickly. Jalen Hurts is the starter, but we don't know for how long. He was not drafted as part of the Sirianni regime, and if he doesn't show promise soon, Minshew could get his shot because he's proved far more than Jalen Hurts has in his career to this point. Remember, Jalen Hurts only played in the Eagles' first preseason game, going 3 of 7 for 54 yards. Then he got that stomach infection, presumably after watching Joe Flacco play for 5 minutes, and now he has Joe and Minshew ready to go if he screws up, since Nick Mullins was released by Philly to make room for the man I wish I was, Gardner Minshew. We also learned that Deshaun Watson refused to waive his no-trade clause to go to Philly. Now, I don't know if that occurred before or after the Minshew trade, but I think this is another bad sign for Jalen Hurts because it looks like the Eagles don't believe in him. I can't picture 2 people as far away from each other on the coolness scale as Jalen Hurts' backups, Gardner Minshew and Joe Flacco. Minshew has a mustache above his lip. Flacco has a mustache on his brow. Minshew is a ballerina in the pocket. Flacco is a statue, and not just a regular statue, One of those Confederate statues that got toppled last year. It looks like Urban Meyer, though, immediately regretted trading Minshew, saying after the fact that I was a little choked up when I saw him in that office. I would be too. I would be weeping, in fact, Urban. Good to see you have a soul. Obviously, I don't think he regretted it, and Trevor Lawrence played an excellent game against the Cowboys on Sunday, but it's hard to let go of a competitor, someone who wants to win and is good at his job, especially when you're the Jaguars, and you don't have many players who are good at anything. Gardner, I wish you the best, and may you lead the Eagles back to the postseason. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. That would be much appreciated. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, @BrandonPerna if you want to follow me on the other social media places.